Hi everybody. I don't know how well I'm picking up right now. Hopefully. We might have to just be like this today. Hopefully I'm picking up enough. Sonic Unleashed killed me. Sonic Unleashed killed me. That's crazy. I wasn't able to do anything. Wow. But this will probably be a short stream today, and then I hate to abandon you guys right after it, but I will be out of town like all of this week. So I probably won't. Flooly, oh my god. I haven't seen you in years. How have you been? But yeah, I will be out of town all of this week for Christmas stuff, and I'll be back next week before New Year's, so I ran a poll over on Discord for when we've had to keep delaying the big holiday baking stream and Sims 4 day that we were gonna do. We've had to keep delaying that like a weekend at a time because I've been too sick to contaminate cookies. Much less have the energy to like roll out the gingerbread especially, so we will be doing that on the 30th now, so cutting it close to the end of the year. But and I'll drop the link and link it here at the end of stream. There we go. But yeah, donations to Extra Life are still open until the end of the year, which is basically when I'm coming back to stream, I guess. But the Extra Life stuff, we will be streaming a ton of Elden Ring. In January, because of that, we will be streaming our Sims 4 Love Island challenge with a bunch of characters that people that donated 50 or more submitted to be part of that little challenge. So that is fun, but again, you guys have about a week still if you do want to add another character into that mix for that holiday baking stream and Sims 4 challenge. Then any donation of, I actually discounted the remaining incentives, so any donation of at least 40 now we'll get a character in the next week. And also I think Bean Boozled's down to like 20 or something, because we're 40 away from 350, which was our original goal. And then at 350, if we hit 350 on Extra Life before the end of the year, then I will go ahead and stream Resident Evil 9 on the channel next year. But we've hit so many other milestones along the way. That's why we're going to be baking cookies for New Year's now, not necessarily for Christmas, but we will be baking gingerbread for New Year's, and then we will be doing that Sims 4 challenge, and we will be playing a ton of Elden Ring. If we hit that 350 goal as well, every $50 we've hit milestone wise, we have added an additional stream to the calendar for Elden Ring. So if we were to hit 350, that would be a total of 8 more Elden Ring streams that I owe you guys, and this will be including Shadow of the Erd Tree. I guess I have to ask you guys, is it better if I get Shadow of the Erd Tree for like the middle of our remaining playthrough? Like, should we play a little bit of that before beating the game, or should we try to beat the game first and then investigate that stuff on a fresh, like a New Game Plus file? I'm not actually sure what the best approach for that would be, now that I think about it. Try to beat it first, you think? Alright. I'm like, let me consult. Let me consult the council on this one. I'm gonna get it though. We probably won't touch it for the first like couple streams. I think we're gonna keep it really chill and just like level grind and resource collect, but we are gonna beat Elden Ring next month. It's gonna happen. I know it. Also, hello Zendo Sona, how have you been? I don't know how. I didn't even do anything. I forgot to put oil in the end of my hair, so it's a little it's a little crispy. Alright, but yeah, let me sum up what happened after I beat Sonic Unleashed. So last I saw you guys was for the Sonic Unleashed thing. I was visibly in distress, but that was because we were playing a Sonic game, not necessarily because also my camera settings like reset, and now I usually don't have the focus on, and now it is on. So I'm not gonna fix it today. So if stuff's coming in and out of focus, oh well. That is because one of my Christmas gifts is something for the stream setup, but I'm missing a part for it, and Amazon didn't. And Amazon is running behind, so I wasn't able to like set that up yet. But hopefully I'll be able to showcase the new gift my partner got me for the stream setup. Hopefully I'll be able to showcase that to you guys in the next stream when I come back. You guys, hold on, it's gonna make me log in. Well, I'm not gonna log into the app again. Let me pull up here. You guys, did we just hit the goal? It's not 100 V-Bucks for you guys. I'm so sorry. Zendosona, you just hit our goal. Thank you so much. I'm playing Resident Evil 9. Leon's back, baby. I've never actually fully played a Resident Evil game. We're streaming it next year. Thank you so much, Zendosona. That is awesome. It won't let me look at it right now, but did you submit another character? I think this is your first character submission one, right? Do we got a character for the Love Island special? But you guys are awesome. And again, that is still, if anyone else wanted to add a character and is like, oh, but we hit the goal, I will still honor any additional like $50 we make over our goal. I'll add even more Elden Ring streams. I'll still honor adding more characters to the Sims 4 stuff. Because that is open until the end of the year, which is next week. But we've now officially hit our goal though. So thank you so much for that. Can talk about it. Yeah, I will give you you've got about a week. You've got about a week that I can get that in. So far we've got Bella Goth extra gothified because one of my friends wanted a goth mommy. So I'm like, well, we'll just use Bella Goth obviously for that. So she will be joining us. The Phantom of the Opera will be joining us. Lamal didn't actually submit a contestant for the thing. Lamal just wants my parents' dog Yoshi personified and kind of as like a co-host on the island because my parents' dog is a pervert, but he's a very adorable pervert. And thank you for the resub as well. I have a feeling all the resubs are gonna like trigger from this point since I've been gone. I missed resub season. But yeah, that's currently the vibes. I was planning on adding some Elden Ring characters into the mix, and some characters from our Sims 1 and 2 playthroughs that haven't been merged into our Sims 4 world quite yet. I was also going to add to fill up the remaining slots, so if that gives you an idea of the vibes we're taking. We also have characters like the SpongeBob characters, the Emoji Family, our Miitopia characters, our Nintendo princesses, so we've got a wide range of characters that can go to this island and compete for love. I thought about killing the characters that don't find love. That's usually what I do off stream, but it's more interesting to keep them around on stream, so it will be a normal they'll live if they don't find love this time. Oh my gosh, the autofocus is going nuts. But thank you so much for that. Again, that link will be open if you're watching this on the VOD till the end of the year. But it's almost the end of the year. I've been gone. These nuts. If I could find a way to personify that into a character, I can do that. Mr. D's nuts. I also don't have to do that. I'm a very creative person. But yeah, Sonic Unleashed streamed that the same day as that I went to go see FNAF 2 in theaters. I did not interact with a lot of people, I swear. However, that is currently the only like day that I did something outside that week. Previously, you guys know, like, throughout the entirety of November from start to end, basically, it was after we got back from, it was after a charity stream after we got back from the concert, but my partner had gone to a conference and got a very, very nasty bug that lasted a full month up through Thanksgiving, and it kind of kicked in immediately after, like, the day after that conference for him. I somehow did not manage to get it at all, despite being immunocompromised. I did not get it at all, thankfully. Then, somehow, either the stress of Sonic or that combined with just being in the presence of Freddy Fazbear, like, triggered whatever part of the virus was incubated in me, and I started to feel sick, like, a few days after. So you guys know we had our morning stuff, so our regular morning like stream schedule, so I would have supposed to have streamed like immediately after that Sunday, like with the Monday morning stream and the Wednesday and Friday morning streams. I missed the morning streams that week initially because of mental health. I was having a lot of panic attacks for unrelated to Freddy Fazbear and stuff, so I just didn't end up making any of those streams, and it really, really upset me to the point that I think like end of the night Tuesday I really broke down, and I looked in the mirror and my eyes were fully bloodshot, and I was like, oh, I'm so upset my eyes are bloodshot. I wake up Wednesday morning and it's only in one eye, but like it looks like I had pink eye. And I suddenly started to have the tickle. I know. I suddenly started to have the tickle of a sore throat. You know, when you have like that feeling that it could be a sore throat or you just need to drink more water. So I had that feeling all day Wednesday, but I was like, my immune system was just really low yesterday. I'll bounce back. And that's when I was telling you guys, like, we're going to stream like Thursday or Friday this week, and we're still going to do the weekend streams. Wednesday night hits, and I know it's the same virus. I just knew it. Over like the course of like from the time I woke up to the like time dinner rolled around, and like I was at the end of my work day, I was like, this is not going to be a quick turnaround, is it? So I did take a full sick day Thursday and half of a sick day on Friday from work because I was just completely in bed. It was a very bad sore throat. One of the worst I've had in a long time. The pink eye stuff spread from one eye to the other. There was like one day where I couldn't open my eyes for a couple mornings straight, and that was very very stressful. So yeah, there was that, and then what else? What happened after that? It was really nasty attack on the entire sinuses, right? So it was in my ears at one point, so there was a day where I couldn't see and I couldn't hear, and I was like, good lord. I was like, oh, Faluli with the donation! Oh my goodness. Thank you, Fluli. Oh my gosh, it says we've raised 104% of our goal now. Huh. And you guys never need to apologize about whatever you donate. You were able to make a donation. That's more than enough. We've hit our goal. We're good. I'm gonna give you an honorary Bean Boozled. I know I have Bean Boozled at 20, but you're such a regular, I'm gonna give you an honorary Bean Boozled while I tell the story of how I am on death's door. I'm sure this will make it better. Oh my god, it's the orange one. This one's either barf or peach. But it's for you. And Zenzo made a big donation actually, so I needed to do a Bean Boozled anyway. So this is for y'all, chat. I would do more, but I think if this ends up being barf, I don't even like peach anyway, so this one's like catastrophic. It might be. Oh. I think it's peach. There's a bit of an unidentified texture within there. There's a little bit of mustiness in. You know what? For my sanity, I'm gonna pretend I got peach. Yeah. Yeah. That was a normal one. I'm sure. There's no reason a jelly bean would be musty and have texture inside of it. But thank you guys for the kids. But yeah, I had the eye problems, I had the ear stuff. Actually, I think maybe I have a residual ear infection. Everything sounds slightly higher pitched to me. Like, I've been listening to like music and like different like audio sounds and stuff, like when I join like voice calls and stuff. Everything sounds slightly higher pitched. Like every piece of music, mainly, for example, I've been listening to Man's Best Friend every day since release, right? Every song, that's what I've been using as my control. Every song sounds slightly higher pitched than I remember it. And I'm like, I definitely remember it correctly. I binged this album a bunch. I have it memorized. But something's like slightly higher pitched, but not everything sounds slightly higher pitched. It's like a very slight shift. It's just enough to make me feel like something's off in the world. And I hear it in like so many small little effects. So that's there's something remaining wrong there, but who knows? Maybe that'll go away. But yeah, that, and then the nose, the sinus pains were really bad one night. So those pains they were the worst in the first few days. And then the cough hit, and that's really why I wasn't able to stream this past week, is I didn't feel as like cold and flu type of sick, right? But everything's actually been half a tone higher than I thought it's been my entire life, and I only just now realized on a random day at the end of the year in 2025. But yeah, I haven't felt like cold and flu sick type of thing the past week. It's been breathing issues. I do have a bit of asthma that only flares up when I'm sick. I've had to use my inhaler here. I've had to use it for some like panic attack stuff, and for some like really cold weather. Occasionally, like the past like couple years, like 1 or 2 years I would say, but other than that, I've had to use it for sickness 5 times total in my entire life, right? Once when I originally got like diagnosed with asthma and was like sick as a little kid, and they had to like teach me how to use an inhaler. I would say once when I got like walking pneumonia, kind of like early pneumonia, and was out of school for like a week, freshman year of high school. I think that was like the worst I ever got sick as a teenager. Once for a very similar type of bug my friends and I all got in college before COVID. Once when I actually got COVID in like 2022, I believe, was the last time. And now here, over 3 years later, is when I've had to use the inhaler again. So that's how I knew this is like more than just like a sick day for me. As soon as I started needing to use the inhaler like several times a day just to breathe, is when I knew it was a really bad, a really bad virus. Even now, like, exhaling too much like closes my windpipes a little bit. But because I have asthma and because the sinus stuff, I think it was a virus, but I think it gave me an upper lung, like an upper respiratory infection because of the drainage from that. So because I had the drainage and the asthma problems, they were able to load me on a bunch of medicine that they weren't able to give my partner, because he just had it as a virus, but I was at higher risk for a bunch of stuff, so they were like, well, the alternative is like calling 911 if you don't get over this, so we're gonna give you a bunch of stuff, and that stuff has been working. That stuff has been working, but it's been a lot with its own side effects, so I've been trying to take things, even though I've been feeling a lot better the past few days. We've pushed back some of our travel plans. I was originally supposed to be out of town this weekend, so now I will be out of town like Christmas Eve through the following week, and be back to make cookies on the 30th, basically. Originally it was supposed to be like shifted the other way, and be out this weekend instead, but I had to push it back even though I'm feeling a bit better. Just, I need all the recovery time I can get with this stuff. So hopefully, I have like my last thing of antibiotics tonight, and then I have like my last thing of like, they got me on some other stuff. I finished those up like literally the morning that we are gonna leave to travel, so I should be in the clear. But yeah, in short, I was not that mad about Eggman Land in Sonic Unleashed. I did not rage quit the channel. I did not rage quit because I did not rage quit after the cozy game video essay. I did not rage quit because we had a bunch of charity incentives we had to meet. I did not dip out and be like, well, I don't want to actually do these on you guys. I've been, every day I've woken up, I've been like, I really hope tomorrow I can get back to streaming. And it's been like that for I think exactly 2 weeks now. So yeah. Hopefully, when I pop back on, for our stuff at the end of the year here, then we can have some fun with it. We can have a lot of fun with it, I think. I'm starting to feel better, but oh my goodness, what a turn of events. What a turn of events. I want to thank you guys so much for being supportive, especially over on like the Discord and stuff while I've been sick, because I've felt so horribly guilty, not even just about streaming, because this is really my comfort thing, but I did push to work all throughout the last week even though I was still sick, just because I wanted to keep everything polished before the holiday break, and then yeah, I've been trying to keep up with like a bunch of family and friends plans. If you are a family or friend watching this, and I haven't hung out with you yet, I'm going to try my best to in the next few weeks. There were a bunch of like chores and a bunch of like other things that I've had to do that I've just been very, I guess, lazy on, because I have technically been up in bed I've played 75% of 2 Point Campus. In the past couple weeks, I have binge played most of that. So instead of doing that, I could have just like crawled out here and just gotten more work done technically, and I probably should have. But I think I have a bit of brain fog. I can feel a bit of brain fog with this virus. It's not COVID. They tested me for it at the doctor. The very painful, the one that goes all the way up to your brain, that type of swab. They tested me for COVID and the flu using those, which meant they had to run it twice. I thought they would use one swab and be able to check for both COVID and flu. They did it the swipe for COVID, right? And then like I tilted my head back down and they like put me back up and they're like, no, swab number 2, and they did the exact same thing, and I was like, and then they had to swab me for strep as well, so I was, oh my god. That day was really rough. I was like trying to tell them all my symptoms and I just had like tears going down my face. They're like, we're so sorry, like it's such a nasty combination of tests, and I'm like, no, it's fine, don't worry about it. So I know I've been a bit lazy. I'm trying really hard to catch up on everything. But again, I don't want to ever like make streaming a super stressful thing for me as well. So, I'm not gonna, even though I technically have a few hours tomorrow before like I head over to my parents and stuff, technically could squeeze in a few hours right before heading out for travel and like squeeze them in as soon as I get back. We're just gonna pick up streaming again the day I get back from traveling and stuff, so I can just focus on all the other things I've neglected, or I can just genuinely rest and focus on traveling for the holidays. I'm really excited for the holidays this year. It's gonna be a lot of fun, so I want to make sure that while I'm away, I actually just focus on being away and nothing else. So that's the plan for that. Provided tested for. That is literally like just what my brain has been like reading sentences as, just normal sentences. I feel like I developed dyslexia. I haven't been able to read. Which I have a book club book I've been meaning to read, but I lost my bookmark and like my mind's like, we can't read the book until we find the bookmark. So I haven't read it. I haven't read it yet. It's like, yeah, it's at the end of next week, so I gotta find a bookmark immediately or my brain will not allow me to read this book. But yeah, this is a sneak peek at what I think the January schedule will be. I haven't posted the full thing on Twitch or posted it in Discord yet because of the sick. Just in case, like, I don't know if something happens, if this develops worse while I'm out and about traveling, if I come back feeling even worse, or if there's like more long-term stuff with this where I have to cut down streams even more for a while. Also like trying to see if I do feel good, what family plans we'll be doing for stuff. Like I have some family birthdays, I have we usually do like something small for New Year's anyway, so wanting to make sure that I get those reflected in the calendar as well. I also don't know when. I should have a day off of work for Martin Luther King Day. Usually that's like a national day off holiday in America, pretty much. That being said, America sucks right now. I don't believe that's something that they've removed, but my company hasn't announced what holidays we get off for 2026 yet at all. So I'm assuming we'll get the 19th off, which is also actually my stream anniversary for 7 years on Twitch. So I really want to take the day if I have it off to play Elden Ring on that day. But if we have to move that around, or if we have to just do a morning stream that week for it instead, or if I have to shift my hours if I really, really want to do a longer stream of that, I'll let you guys know. But I'm assuming probably that's a day off type of thing. I hope it is. I hope so. But yeah, currently the plan, again, the 30th, which is not this Tuesday, but the following Tuesday, that's the first day I'm back from my travels. We will do a combination of, we'll be doing our holiday baking stream. It's nothing that fancy because I don't have a fancy place or the fanciest mobile equipment, but I will just set up my phone. I don't even have a tripod for it, but I'll set it up on some like tissue boxes in a corner of the kitchen. I have a really small kitchen, but we will find a way to set it up. We were able to last year. And we will make gingerbread cookies again. That was a lot of fun. They turned out really well. And this year our secondary cookie will be just a standard like homemade double chocolate chip cookie with some mint chips in there as well. So that will be yummy. We will also be, while those are baking, we will swap back and forth between that setup and this one to stream that Sims 4 Love Island challenge. And then we will resume and wrap up what's left of that challenge on New Year's Eve, probably for a really short stream. I know Stranger Things drops that day also, and even though I haven't really been vibing with it the past few seasons, even though the first season's like the first and second seasons, I'm a season 2 defender, are some of my favorite seasons of any show of all time. So I do really want to see how it ends. So whether I start that later in the day, I do want to like just hang out with my partner for the entire evening. But yeah, whether I do a later afternoon stream, because we have to binge it first, whether we stay up the following night, or whether we're like, nah, well, it's not actually that big of a deal. We'll just binge it on, like, closer to the actual countdown. I'll have to see how we're feeling. It depends how we're feeling, but we'll probably do a little bit of streaming on New Year's Eve. Probably not on New Year's Day, like I said, usually do some sort of family plans, but I know I now owe you guys 8 Elden Ring streams with those other donations that came in. Thank you again, you guys are awesome. So I think the additional one would go here on the 25th and just fill out that weekend, but as you guys can see, Elden Ring will be our primary focus this month and be kind of treated as the main playthrough. So I have this week and the following week I have completely off of work. So I will be able to do a Friday full day stream and a Saturday one as well. I won't be streaming on the 4th because I'll actually be going to go see the Phantom of the Opera is touring right now. So my mom, it's like her favorite musical of all time. She's seen it like a dozen times in a bunch of different formats each time. So we obviously gotta go, we're all gonna go see that. So I'll be out that weekend, and then similarly the following weekend, we'll probably do some like birthday family stuff with some folks. So I don't know what day would be best for that. So whatever day we stream Elden Ring the following weekend could change. But we will probably, one day I'll be out, the other day we'll stream Elden Ring type of thing. I'd like to do, if this does end up with being a 3-day weekend, all 3 days are going to be Elden Ring, of course, and then yeah, an additional one here. We will probably wrap up our Elden Ring playthrough one way or another. I haven't promised to beat Shadow of the Erdtree because I'm not going to do that, but I will play it. So like, I'm hoping to beat Elden Ring sometime in like leading up to our channel anniversary, and then channel anniversary going into like this last weekend, we can focus just on whatever the highlights, whatever early Shadow of the Erdtree thing you guys want me to see and be traumatized by. Hopefully these last 2 weekends then could be used solely to focus in on all of that stuff. So, and then we will call it after that, and we started Elden Ring on my channel anniversary, January 2025, so it will be very poetic to end Elden Ring January 2026 as well. And then otherwise our morning streams will be returning in the new year. If you are a morning stream viewer, I'm sorry you didn't get any morning streams in December at all. That's my bad. I'm very sorry. I'm really, really sorry. But they will be returning in the new year. We will go back to, once we beat this, I want to get all of our life sims, all of our different ones across the different Sims games and Inzoi. I want to get them all in a good spot because I want to play a little bit more Miitopia. And then I want to prep us for Tomodachi Life. It's going to be like our main life sim for a bit when that comes out. So I want to get all the lore figured out and everyone's like situations figured out as well for that. So we'll dive back into The Sims 1 a little bit. We'll dive back into The Sims 2 a little bit. And then probably in like February, we'll dive back into Sims 4 and Inzoi a little as well. But also Animal Crossing New Horizons has its 3.0 update coming out. I believe it releases on the 15th if I'm not mistaken. So we will do like a prep stream for that, just reviewing the state of my island. I started to renovate it and then I stopped and never fully fixed it. So it's not, you would think being a level designer I'd have like one of those really pretty like Pinterest super like maxed out islands. I do not. I do not. It's really just a place for me to vibe. I really love I have a bunch of really detailed stuff like on like the Happy Home Paradise. I love putting a bunch of stuff together over there, but I've not done quite the same for the actual like exterior and the outside of my island. Maybe I'll lock in more for like the little fake ones that you can make. But we will check out that new hotel stuff and maybe we'll clean up my island as well for a few morning streams following that, because listen, I will always say New Horizons is like the worst Animal Crossing game, but in terms of life sim games, the entire Animal Crossing franchise is S tier. It's the worst game as in like, oh, this is my least favorite flavor of like a soft warm chocolate chip cookie, like, oh, this one's the weakest of the bunch and it's still like the most heavenly cookie with the best like chocolate pull scene to mankind. So I give New Horizons some shit, but like in terms of life sims, it's still S tier. It is still absolutely an S tier game, so I'm really excited to see 3.0 because nobody thought we would get a 3.0. They straight up told us 2.0 was it. So this is quite a pleasant surprise. That means I'm like, well, where is Splatoon 4 and the next Animal Crossing? Where are those in the pipeline then? But also they were able to make a new Mario Kart while working on like the Mario Kart Booster Pass. So maybe this is a sign that more Animal Crossing is on the way. Who knows? But yeah, that is the early schedule. Again, I already have to make changes to it to add that additional Elden Ring stream to the calendar. So I will post that probably like New Year's Eve. I'll post the official one places. But yeah, originally I'm streaming this under the game dev category because I wanted to. We're not actually gonna do any game dev stuff today, but I just want to kind of relax and do a chill stream. Probably would have worked to do this in like The Sims or something as well. I do have the brain fog, so I am just... It took me so long to start stream today because I've just been acting on stupid today. Freddy on the mic. Oh no, I don't have Freddy Fazbear in here. I might have to get Freddy. I might have to go grab Freddy. But it took me so long to start stream today. Because I've been acting on just the stupid and not the brain cell. But I do want to just chill and hang out with our Unreal kind of sandbox that we did this year, and we are going to carry over into next year because this sandbox that we've been doing is we've been making arenas in Unreal Engine 5, and we've been remaking ones from Kid Icarus Uprising. So kind of, again, I'm a level designer, not like an environment or a artist or a programmer, so the functionality is not there, and the aesthetics and the art certainly aren't there. But from a level design standpoint, I really was obsessed with these arenas as a child, so now as someone that designs arenas professionally for their career, I'm like, what was it about these very simple arenas on the 3DS that gave so much replayability and people still want these back? Because it is a Sakurai game as well, so like what makes these so god tier? So we were just going through and blocking them out, and then did a very basic structural art pass on each of them. In the new year, I would like to explore some more like art stuff with these and make them actually look good and maybe add a bit more functionality, because even though art and programming is outside of what I do, I need to know of it and have a little bit of skills in those because design touches so many different things. So it would still help me to learn those skills and to make these prettier and to make it play a bit closer to the actual game as well. So yeah, we're just gonna chill and we're just going to sit back and play each of these levels. I won't make a like list of all the specific things we're gonna do in 2026 for this. We won't pick this back up on stream, I think, until February is my guess. I kind of want to again just use January for Elden Ring, make sure I'm still not sick, let my brain kind of recover a bit, and do that via the life sim stuff as well. But we are gonna game dev stuff is at the core of the channel, of course, so we are gonna jump back into this in February, and we'll make a big list then of all the stuff we want to improve, all the different things we want to learn. But today we're just gonna relax and just go down memory road, I think. Let me go grab Freddy Fazbear actually really quick, and then I will BRB. He's back. He's back. So he was actually sitting up on a shelf in the bedroom, while I was sick. We put him on a shelf to remind me to keep going. The sickness was bad, y'all. It was bad. So he that's where he's been for the past 2 weeks. He has not been out here. He's been on the front lines. Do it for him type things. Why would I do that when I most likely got this thing triggered by the FNAF 2 movie? I don't know, but I like the movie. I'm a fan of it, so I don't hold anything against Mr. Frederick Fazbear. I have no ill will. Coffee's so good. But yeah, let's start. This was our first level here that we started at the beginning of the year. It's a very basic one to remake. Keep the blockout stuff. I don't think I kept the old iterations. That's fine. But yeah, this was a very basic version that we were able to kind of make from scratch here, because this level had a bunch of just like square buildings and very sharp 90-degree angles. So in terms of blocking this out, this was actually a really good one to start with. It's a combination of an interior space and mostly exterior stuff. It's a lot of just stone. So aesthetically, it wasn't really hard to find temp art assets for. And then, yeah, cover-wise, let's see, does the cover revisions thing still work? Okay, there's a few things that I didn't put in the right folder. Like, I know this is supposed to be in cover revisions. But yeah, each of these levels, what we learned early on with this process was that each of these was going to need a cover revision sub-level, because aside from a few things I think I forgot to add to it, this is a pretty one-to-one layout recreation of the original map of this, which works great on the 3DS, because Kid Icarus, the ground play style is much slower movement and much more melee focused, and much like the scaling of your character in the world and the abilities you have, everything feels much closer together because you are in you're in a 3DS game, right? But here we have been using the Unreal Lyra template, which if you guys watched any of these streams, you know I have opinions on the one side, if you don't plan to edit or adjust literally anything with the Lyra template, you just want to use it to try out something, then this is an excellent template. It is free. It has computer players set up with multiplayer stuff. It's got basic weapons and health and different game modes you can try out and stuff as well. So it is a very great starting place for if you want to make a multiplayer like deathmatch level, for instance, like this is, but you don't want to make an entire like game mode from scratch and spend like months doing that when that's not what you want it for, right? You want to do something artistically, or you want to do like some level design, or just try out a feature in a similar type of game mode. So this is a really great free asset. Now, if you want to change literally anything about Lyra, it becomes kind of the most difficult thing in the world. I have known programmers I've worked with professionally like tell me how horrible Lyra is to work with from a programming side, how painful it is to edit and work with literally anything in it. As I have tried to, there's so much stuff that I'll be like, oh, like even the health, I'll be like, oh, I wish I could just bump up the health value, like in a blueprint or in details somewhere. Surely I can, right? No. It's like, oh shoot, I threw that off the world. No, it's all in C++, which you might think, oh, well, just open up the value and like do some light programming then. I believe there's extra steps and extra complexities even past that make it difficult. So no, you can't just adjust the health just like that for Lyra. You've got to go down a rabbit hole of knowing how everything works just to not be able to get it to work properly in the end anyway. I believe how programmers I've worked with have had to do stuff with Lyra is they've had to like completely dissect things and put them back together. But the act of having to take everything apart in the first place means it would have actually been better just to make the entire project from scratch. So if you want to like actually put out a project with some of this and you're like, maybe Lyra can help me save some time, then I would strongly advise against either like give yourself a full month or something to do research on Lyra and then make that decision. Or if you don't have a month to like research that stuff, I would advise against it personally. And say there might be some things that are just better to do from scratch. It depends on your experience and comfort level. I do think this is still a great fallback option, but it has a lot of flaws. It has a lot of flaws if you want to change stuff. That if you've watched the playlist of these Game Dev and Chill videos, you'll hear me just complaining. I'm sure I complain about a different thing, like, or the same, like, 3 things, probably, like, every video. And y'all are good if you are lurking. It's the holidays. Play your games, get your lurks in. I'm basically sometimes I feel like I'm lurking on my own streams. I'm like, I don't know who's playing this right now. But yeah, Lyra's a very mixed bag. Similar stuff with what I talked about with Fortnite Creative, which if you guys were a fan of those Fortnite Creative streams, I was a fan of, especially, I know they're not saved on the channel, but I was really a fan of our initial ones starting up at the start of the year, and I did really like our Blocktober ones we did this year, the like earlier ones. However, ever since the internet problems, where I'm now having to use like air internet for just specifically this PC, I don't have the bandwidth at this current house, this current setup to... Nav's a little weird here. I don't have the bandwidth to be able to stream Fortnite in general, much less like Fortnite with the editor open, because you have to have it open for that. And be able to like run a stream at the same time. We did do a test run of that, and it didn't go well. So Fortnite creative, unfortunately, I think will have to be put on the back burner until my partner and I are thinking more along the lines of finding somewhere else, whether it be full on like getting a place or just finding another apartment. Most likely something in between. Like I would like a condo situation in the same area for now would be nice, and then making a big move in another few years. That sounds cool. But whatever we decide to do, we love this apartment so much, but it is expensive. It is really expensive for the you know, the internet to not work. For the internet to not like work at all. Most days it is it's a little too expensive for that. In fact, we could be paying a mortgage on something with working internet for the same price. So we most likely are going to look at that. So this internet thing hopefully maybe will be resolved in like 2027, I would say, because our lease does go through the end of like 2026. But yeah, hopefully 2027 will be a bit better. So we're gonna have to make do, maybe even earlier if we move during the summer, but oh my gosh. But yeah, we're gonna have to make do with some streams. So there are some not a lot of limitations, since I use a capture card and we do a lot of like Nintendo console streaming and PS5 stuff. And then I am like a single game person when we do stuff on Steam. So oh gosh, I have to figure out what to get Resident Evil 9 on. I'm excited. I'm excited. I didn't think we'd get this far. Oh my god. I'm scared. The game looks really scary. It looks really I know I work in like the SCP genre, but the game's looking a bit scary, you guys. I don't know if I should be playing scary games. So I'll have to figure out what would be best to stream that off of, given our unique setup right now. But yeah, thankfully being a variety single player streamer doesn't like ruin like what we can and can't stream too much right now. But yeah, Fortnite creative and Fortnite in general seems to be the biggest hit. I haven't really played Fortnite in general since like the start of the year, I feel, but I can't now. I certainly can't do that now. Oh my gosh, I won a match on stream. Oh my god. Let's let them, I like to like play one for myself and then simulate one. I find it fascinating. Yeah, any sort of like online game. Oh, I really want to play. Maybe we'll sneak in some Pretty Derby sometime next year. I'll think about it. I'll think about it. Kind of curious to see if like something like that would run. I know you have to like connect to a server initially since it's a gacha game to get your reward, so I don't know if that would like be too big of a hit on my bandwidth or not. But basically having to figure out stuff like that. What can and can't we stream until moving? And then that's assuming the internet works at the next place. It should be better. That's like my #1 requirement, is the best internet we can get. But what if there's a possibility, what if it's not? Just because you pay for working internet doesn't mean you get it. That's what happens sometimes with my parents' place. Is they have fiber, but the cord just gets cut like every month. It feels. And then you can't use high-speed internet if there's no internet, and then they take like a very long time to actually get out there and fix it. So that's the alternative, which I haven't wanted to do, but it's looking like that would be the option. But we'd be able to stream in 60 frames a second again. All my streams, we bumped it up to like 720p and 60 frames a second for some of like the Elden Ring things that turned out really well. I really love those VODs, and it makes the games like look so good. The Switch 2 stuff looks great streaming like that. But yeah, I really want to bump it up too. I know it's not, I'm not looking to be like a 4K. You guys don't need to see all the details on my face, though the stream present might change that. But I'm not looking to be the like highest quality video streamer. But yeah, I would like to stream in a little better quality. So the goal is to stream with something that can give like 4,000 bit rate, and then to get 1080p 60 frames a second. That would be nice. But yeah, right now my bit rate averages around like 3,500, but it dips below that a bit, so I could probably try to bump it up to 60k for maybe some of the Elden Ring stuff, but it's a little riskier. It's a little riskier for frame drops. It probably would be more stable just to keep it at 30. They keep getting stuck here, and I don't... The nap's fine. There's some weird nav stuff with Lyra too. Like, I check my nav mesh and everything's working, so I believe it's a behavioral issue. I think it's something is being told. It almost seems like they're trying to like use it as cover, but then their behavior's like canceling out, so they just kind of idle there. Stuff like this I would like to investigate with Lyra as well. And be like, what incarnation is happening? Yeah, this was our first map that we kind of threw together. We also added a lot of foliage in here, which the original one does not have this much foliage, but I kind of like the idea of making it a little more like overgrown and stuff as well. Which then takes us to our second one, Spiral Tower. This one was also like kind of simple to do, but a bit harder to do like the paper design of and like get everything kind of laid out there. We had some frame drops there just because of Unreal, not because of the internet. No one freak out. No one freak out! But yeah, this one we used like a bunch of landscape for, and it's very shiny and stuff. A little intentionally though, because this is how it looks on the 3DS. So I'm kind of glad we got it looking like this, like 3DS coded. Honestly, it turned out very 3DS like. But I do want to, if we revisit this one, make it look beyond the 3DS. But I am happy for the blockout stage that it does look like this for now. Oh my gosh, why does... Oh, nanite. Nanite is hurting us. Oh my god. Also, this was probably the best thing we did. It has like a little capture the flag thing at the top. So we did spend a stream. That stream is up on YouTube on a VOD somewhere. One of the Spiral Tower ones. This is probably in the thumbnail of whatever one we did this on. But we did spend a stream working with... This was done all in Unreal, so I didn't like export anything like from anywhere else to do this. I just was able to use, I believe it was the modeling tool, or it might have just been the modeling tool actually. I think it was just that and then just dropping it in with a wind actor. I might have to rewatch the video for myself, but we did like use the same thing. We made like this flag over here. But I mean, we had to use a picture of my cat. Look how majestic. Is this not the most majestic flag you've seen? Would you not fight for him? He's also been like very happy that I've been sick, like overwhelmingly happy. Like the day I had the sick day, he like walked in and he saw me just like lying in like my deathbed, and he just started purring and just jumped up and curled up, and he was unconscious. He was asleep longer than I was on my sick day. He was so happy. I also was like, I had a like fever one night, and he was like so happily just like overheating me, but like using me as a heater since it also was like really cold that week. But yeah, that remains my favorite part of this map. But yeah, this one is like a full exterior map. So that made it a fun one to kind of work on. This water stuff, we didn't crash. It's just this map seems to be a little heavier than I remember it being performance-wise. But yeah, the biggest thing is this water here. One change we made from the original version to this remade version is, in the original Kid Icarus, the water here in this level you just kind of run through and splash around in. But in the main story of Kid Icarus, it doesn't apply to like any pile of water. You do splash through piles of water as well. But you do have the ability to just sit in the water and regenerate health in hot springs in those areas. So I was like, why isn't there a hot spring area? Like, it would be highly guarded and highly OP for generating, like, getting health back and stuff. But I'm like, that's almost why you should like have a hot spring. I feel like that would be an interesting game mechanic to see in an arena. Even if it went badly, I'm like, you know, it's a 3DS game. I'm curious why they didn't opt to have a hot spring somewhere on one of these maps. So we made this one a healing area. So it's a bit harder to kill people here, but the alternative is there's not a lot of cover. There's just this big rock. So high risk, high reward, essentially. So that's one change that I've really liked. Okay, I thought the foliage looked a bit dark. We're having rendering issues. I'm not gonna fix that today. We had an issue like this the other day, or not the other day, but one of the last times we booted this up, I remember. When it compiles shaders, usually in a working game engine, if there's any issues afterwards, it will be resolved on a reload, or like you can like, it will pop up errors and then you can go manually reconnect everything. The there we go. Yeah. So did you guys see like down here how it originally popped up gray and then it rendered once I clicked on it? I'm assuming that's the case for all of these, where it wants me to manually go to each asset and not even refresh it on my end, but just like look at it. Maybe. Actually, I don't know what's going on with you. I haven't seen this one. What's going on with you? I said I wasn't gonna fix this, but... There we go, yeah. See how I have to like go into it? Like right now it says the normal texture is like blacked out. I guess you guys can't see it. Let me move myself real quick. Ah! But you see how it says the normal texture is blacked out there in the upper right corner? Watch, if I just click on it, suddenly, oh, it's fine. There's no issues there. It's been fine the whole time. You're imagining things. You see, and now it wants me- Freddy, I'm sorry! Oh my god, Mr. Fazbear. I punched. But yeah, it wants me to do that for every single item that I see having an issue. Instead of like, it's not giving me any errors about these. They're just things that I'm noticing are wrong. That's Unreal 5 though. A lot of the visual improvements to the engine in Unreal 5 come with bugs like this. One of the differences between 4 and 5. I've used both for a long time. Unreal Engine 4 I've used way more than 5, but I have been trying to keep up with 5 both in professional and personal work since it like was officially out. I think the Walsa Gromit kind of level studies we did for that were a bit earlier in 5 as well. I think that was like the earliest stream project we did with that. But yeah, this map basically has like some of the visual issues, despite being like all the same color. It's caused a lot of like materials to get upset. But stuff like this tower here, this is like the center, kind of a very capture the flag feeling for it. We very jankily put it together, so the textures are all a mess, but shape-wise, I'm really happy with it. We decided to opt to go for like a BSP that we then cut a shape out of, being this. So I'm really happy with it. We could have just made this in the modeling tool as well, but again, coming from Unreal 4, BSPs are kind of my thing, my comfort zone. And doing stuff like placing jump pads that were in the original, but then giving like this path is originally, for example, like completely cut off in the original game. But I want the AI in Lyra, big thing, they do not jump. They do not jump by default. You will even notice there's like nav links and stuff and jump pads placed around in like some of the Unreal like test maps, but they don't use them. I don't know if there's just been something wrong with like the 20 versions of Lyra I've downloaded at different times, or if there's a separate way you need to configure that, even though it should be on by default, but they do not like to jump in their factory settings. So in order to give them a way to get up to the player, I had to make this really thin piece of nav here for them, which they should be able to get all the way to the... Is the nav mesh not tall enough? Hold on a minute. Well, that was weird. They've been... I wonder if that changed, because they've been able to go up there before. How were they able to go up there? I don't know. Actually save stuff here. But another big thing we did for this one is I have some PTSD with this feature. A little bit of it. But it is genuinely pretty helpful. And that is the Destructibles feature. So stuff like cover here, especially all the maps we're doing, a lot of the cover I added are like bits of pieces of ruins and stuff so that they match the theme. So stuff that you can use as cover, but if you throw a grenade at it, look at that. It's reactive. So this is a chaos system that is in Unreal Engine 5. I had to learn it all for a project where somebody just gave it to me and another female level designer because they assumed we weren't level designers and didn't give us any level design work, and that was quite an experience to say that when my tag says like level designer right under my name, and I'm like, what do you mean you didn't know? But regardless of that experience being just quite an experience to have, it was really frustrating to learn this when I just wanted to do other like actual level design things. And as a tool, this system, I think it was frustrating because a lot of people are like, oh, Unreal Engine 5 offers this, it must be complete. And that is not the case for a lot of these new features. Like this, if you want to use destructibles in a prototype, then this absolutely works. If you're trying to prove that you can do... Jesus. If you're trying to prove that your team can do destructible stuff for a final game, or you want to do that in a final game, don't use this. Do not use this. Make your own systems, is what I would say. Come back here, come back here. Because yeah, there's a bunch of different, like, specific things with this that I've, again, ranted about on many other videos. Basically a lot of pitfalls of, oh, this should work this way. It didn't. I have to spend the next 2 weeks figuring out why it didn't. Which isn't so bad if you have the dev time to spend on it, but if it's your personal project, or if, again, if you're doing this professionally and you don't have the time to spend on that, or it can be spent better, then this is quite an annoying thing with some of the newer things added to Unreal Engine 5. Basically, they technically work, but are they finished enough and polished enough to use? Up for debate sometimes. It kind of goes feature by feature. Oh, they're killing me. They're killing me. But that being said, this is just a personal project. Even though I've been remaking these, even if people were like, oh, I want to see a remake of the game since Nintendo hasn't made one yet. Like, will you post this anywhere? No, this is Nintendo. This is a strictly educational, personal, like, exercise. I would not upload these anywhere, make it playable. This is just kind of an educational thing for me. Kind of another reason I'm fine with it being lower quality art-wise is to not give people the not fully tap into that yearning for a new Kid Icarus that I feel every single day of my life. I know Nintendo can be harsh on stuff, so purely an educational thing, not to be distributed, and a fun way for me to do some sandbox work. And that's really how I'm hoping to continue treating this in the new year. This is a sandbox of sorts. So if we want to learn something artsy for a month, we can. If we want to debug the many atrocities that Lyra has committed for a month, we can. If we would rather I would like to add another map or two to the mix as well, so that way we still do. Being a level designer, blockout is kind of my favorite thing, so giving us the opportunity to do more blockouts. There are a ton more maps, definitely some more complex ones as well I wouldn't mind adding to the mix, and adapting for Lyra. Where am I getting shot from? Oh, they're at the top. You see, they are using it exactly how I wanted them to, though. That's kind of the best feeling sometimes is, I know I'm getting my ass beat, but they're moving around the map to the intended spots. And I'm like, oh hell yeah, they can navigate to me to beat my ass. That's a very good thing. I have an early clip from like my third year of streaming, I think. It was when I was still in college getting my game development degree, and I have a clip, I think, of me like running through a parking garage level in a death match similar to this on an Unreal Engine 3. Unreal Engine 4 mode. I wasn't in college that long ago. Damn. But yeah, it's just a clip of me like running up the parking garage ramps and like getting shot, but like me being like very happy that I was shot and being like, that means they can go in the parking garages now. I like had gotten like some nav bug fixed so that they could do that. So that's the fun thing about playtesting. personal work on stream. Is like, it probably looks like because I am quite horrible at shooters, especially with mouse and keyboard. Oh, get him. Oh, anyone's point, anyone's point. Oh, now I'm nervous. It's anyone's point. My teammate died. That's not my fault. That's not my fault. We're 1 for 1 right now on the maps. But yeah, I think it's really fun to see like where different pitfalls are and to like celebrate the small victories. That's kind of the whole point of why I like to do personal work. Even like for the pieces, I think like probably 75% of the personal work I've done on stream has not ended up on my portfolio. The Fortnite creative stuff I put in my documentation and education part of my portfolio, and then the pumpkin patch and deathmatch maps from Unreal Engine 4, and then the pumpkin patch that we did in Lyra. Those are on my portfolio as well. But other than that, a lot of stuff, especially the stuff that looks like our studies that exist in games, such as Kid Icarus and our Wallace and Gromit study, and then a lot of the October projects aren't on my portfolio, or like the actual Fortnite creative maps themselves aren't on my arenas, even though they are arenas. They aren't listed on that section of my portfolio because they aren't really polished to the level that my release like AAA, AA indie stuff is. But at the same time, I think it's important to peel back the curtain on these streams, and why I have done them over the course of my entire channel is just, yeah, just peeling back the curtain and being like, game development is really hard and it's really ugly a lot of the times, but that's kind of the beauty of it, is seeing everything click into place one thing at a time. So I like to show you guys the like 99% stupid things that I do on this, and then I like to celebrate those like little 1% victories with you all as well. Especially there's so many grumpy people on the internet and stuff as well. So I do try to be a little, I know I just started like super grumpy because I've been sick, but I do try to be slightly more optimistic, even if I don't feel it every day. Just try to be like, hey, not all game developers are out to get you. Like, here's the process. And just hopefully, if it can just like help somebody out there understand or inspire them to do something creative, then that's all I need to do. If the arty flag has inspired you today, then I think I've done enough. My work here is done. But yeah, on to the most recent map that we put together, Ancient Fortress here. This one we actually kind of knocked out the block out for, like, in a single day. And that was actually a really fun stream. We just took like 4 or 5 hours, sat down, did the entire block out, and then called it there. And after that, we were able to focus more on like gameplay and like polish for a week or 2 afterwards. Also, thank you for the follow, Twazi. Much appreciated. But yeah, being able to like do block out 1 really quickly and then like revise and polish it a bit more, and then go into adding like some cover pieces and stuff. I think this one has like the most cover revisions, I would say. Yeah, this map ended up having the most kind of cover revisions compared to its original one in Kid Icarus Uprising, because as you guys could see from some of these screenshots, or maybe you can see the ones at the bottom here kind of do the best. This map was very brutal on the 3DS. I loved it though. I love this map, but Yeah, it has a very interior, very tall vertical fortress space on the very end of the map, but like 2/3 of the ground space on the rest of the map is completely flat with a few morsels of cover throughout, which again, this was actually a really brutal layout even for the balance that Kid Icarus has. Put it in Lyra with very fast moving people with much lower health and much more damage off of the weapons and longer range weapons that can snipe you way more easily than the snipers in Kid Icarus can. And it makes it even more unbalanced into full thing. So we ended up having to add a lot of cover revisions to the point that I added, kind of tried to fill out the space a little more as just a, just like a whole little town surrounding the fortress kind of vibe. So like these archways having like a little house. I think this was even just like a little prefab house that I threw together, or just threw in there. It was already made and thrown together. Putting stuff like this tower here, which is a destructible version that we made for another map. So just reusing. This ended up being really good to do after the last two maps also, because the last map we got a lot of castle assets, or the first map we got a lot of castle assets to make the abandoned or forgotten city stuff. The spiral tower, we had to do a lot of material work to get that working, and made a lot of destructibles. So coming to this one, we had the castle stuff for the fortress in place. We had the material work done, and then we had all of these destructibles already made to place. We didn't have to make a bunch of ones from scratch, so this ended up being the perfect map to do for our third map that we made. But yeah, this little fortress, the ramp, the texture on the ramps is very warped. That will be one of the things I want to fix next year. It's horribly warped. The dimensions on these ramps are much less steep than I thought they would be. But yeah, I do really love how this turned out. I think we added definitely some more cover in here. Like this is originally entirely open. That was not working in Lyra. So just adding in little pieces of debris and pillars. I tried to really, with these cover revisions, make sure it still felt like the original source and made sense for it, but it worked better for the current gameplay setup that we have. Let them simulate and run around, go crazy, I guess. But yeah, this one's a really fun map to watch, I think, watching them run in and out throughout the fortress and seeing people advance up the field. I almost feel like this one might be one of my favorites. I know we've only done 3. Right. Forgotten City, I think we got a really strong start with that, and I think the visual of like what we want to do with these is strongest looking at the regular like version of Forgotten City, the blockout version, and then the Art 1 version. I think that's the strongest like kind of thumbnail thing of if I were wanting to get attacked by Nintendo and was like, I'm remaking Kid Icarus. Like that's the progression of images that I think would showcase what we're doing best. Which I'm not distributing this Nintendo, it's for my learning. I would never, I'm inspired. But yeah, I think this one I think we had the flow of how to tackle these blockouts and how to set up the maps for the sandbox. We had it down since we had done 2 others already. I knew how much time I wanted to spend on this. We already had the assets. I knew what pitfalls we were going to fall into. So developing this was like really quick, but not super easy, but it went a lot smoother than getting started, which is the same for any project. Like the first few maps you make on a new project, whether professional or personal, indie or like AAA, no matter what scale, you're gonna have to like find your kind of bearings a bit when getting onto a new project, and then like within a map or two, once you know how to set that stuff up and you know like the different things from paper design to polish that you will run into, then you can anticipate that in each new design. So iteration becomes much quicker, and you start to feel more creative and start having more new ideas later on in the process instead of just fixing old stuff, if all goes well, right? So I think we started to really have that here, which is why even though I want to focus more on trying to learn some programming stuff and trying to learn some art stuff next year, I'm like, I think we could still squeeze like 1, 2, maybe even 3 more of these in like new maps for the same project. Since we have it down, I think we could just keep adding to this. My joke with this, if this is your first time seeing this project, is I just want to like have this sandbox around to keep adding maps to until Nintendo either remakes Uprising or they put out a sequel or port it in some way. There's like Kid Icarus content on the Switch 2 now. I've been saying this since the Switch 1 though. We only started this project officially at the start of the year, but you know, I don't know if they're gonna let Sakurai do another like free project now that he's done Kirby Air Riders. I feel like it's back to Smash Bros. Jail for him. And then he will definitely need another retirement period after that, or official retirement even. So even though the Switch 2 is the perfect console for Kid Icarus Uprising, it is looking like we might be making this project. We might be on this project for a while, which I don't actually mind. Especially like as technology advances and stuff, even though I haven't really updated the version on here. If we ever got bored, if we ever remade all the arenas, polished it up a lot and got bored, we could update the Unreal number one day, and such. So there's ways we can keep entertained with the sandbox. This is also the longest I think we've had a sandbox. Usually for our stream projects, like I'll make a new one for each project. So we have our Wallace and Gromit one from a few years ago. We have our Pumpkin Patch one, which is also in Lyra, but in a separate Unreal file, with separate specs for that. But this one has a lot of different maps, and we've been using it the entire year, so I want to use it for the entirety of 2026 as well. Did we we crashed. Oh my, I need to move so badly, you guys. Jesus Christ. We crashed. That's not very Jingle Bells of the stream to do. Well, that's gonna be fun. I guess I can't just export this video and call it a day. I guess I gotta stitch it together and upload it. It looks like I will not be going to bed tonight. Bedtime is off the menu. Awesome. Well, I shouldn't be surprised. I don't know where it cut out. I don't think it cut out that long. I think I was just yapping about wanting more Kid Icarus, which is a regular thing on the channel. So I'll just do a little match playing this, and then we'll probably actually start to ramp stuff down. I wasn't planning on streaming too long today, just because I am still trying to recover and get better. I also need to do a bit of video editing before we go on this. Ooh! Before we go on this trip coming up. If you are subscribed to the channel on Twitch, then there is a Extra Life compilation up for the charity stream. That's also our fifth or sixth. I think our fifth. I think. But but that is also basically our next Elden Ring compilation. It's the same format with the kill counter and stuff, and the victory counter as well. Shooting. Why did I send him? Who's over there? Where was my teammate? I think this map's definitely gonna need the most nav polish. Some of the destructible pieces are, they're not breaking up enough for their collision profile. Like, I have the smaller pieces set to no collision, but some big pieces, aren't breaking up as much as I wanted them to. So, gotta do some collision and nav work on that for this map, I think. Especially with how flat it is. Yeah, I just got that compilation up on Twitch today, so that means it will be— I'll basically upload it to YouTube in like a week when I get back. And then also when I get back, I want to have the export for Twitch ready of the next video essay, which is actually less of a video essay, and it's kind of like a 2025 ranking of everything we streamed. I do a unique spin on it though. So that will still be up on YouTube on the 7th, as always. Another big piece of news, if you're watching this on YouTube especially, is that I will be making— I did already make the channel. I haven't like connected it anywhere, but if you guys want to follow it in advance, Emily Cookie Dough VODs on YouTube. So I did already make that, and I'm going to start uploading to that in the new year. Right now, I just have the YouTube channel Emily Cookie Dough, and that is where all the compilations from Twitch, all the VODs from Twitch, and all the video essays designed for YouTube mainly, even though you can still preview them on Twitch. But that kind of edited format. So currently, all of those are on the same YouTube channel, which both videos, like, they do well. The video essays can take off a lot more than the other stuff can, though. And I feel like there's definitely probably a split audience on it, where there's definitely people I think that like all the content and like to see it, but I stream, like, on a regular week, I stream like 5 times a week, right? For like over 15 hours of video. Some people might just want that monthly, like, 20-minute video essay and not 15 hours of content a week showing up multiple times in their inbox. So we'll be making a VOD channel. I think I am still going to post like Twitch compilations to the main channel and just tag the VOD channel in it as well. But I'm going to start making that shift in January. I'm going to keep posting the Elden Ring VODs to the main channel because the entire playthrough is there, so I want to keep it connected. But like our life sim stuff, so Animal Crossing and The Sims, those will be uploaded to the VOD channel. The last like regular VOD outside of Elden Ring probably will be like the Sims 4 Love Island challenge, and the holiday baking stream will go up on the main channel. But after that, the main channel will kind of just be for those edited videos, and then the VOD stuff will be specifically home to the VODs and longer content stuff. So if you are that audience that likes to consume both of those, then make sure to follow both channels. I will connect it. I would link it and stuff, but I literally actually just set up the channel today. So I will have that all connected and set up for you guys to follow easier, and remind you guys about it throughout the new year, of course. Need more health placements in this map. Whew. No, they killed my teammate twice. I didn't even get a chance to hit him. Well, I think I did well today, actually. I think I got stuck with bad computer players. That's my it was my team. That's my excuse. But yeah, these maps have been a joy to work on. Especially because I got to, for one of the updates for the game I'm working on professionally right now, at my company, like, released a mode where it's very, like, arena based. So I got to make a bunch of arenas this year. Kind of why I haven't made as many original arenas in personal work is because, well, I'm kind of funneling all those original arena ideas into something else right now, but I still need arena inspiration, especially right now. So yeah, doing arena studies, where I'm still doing arena stuff, but it's more like kind of problem solving in a way, and kind of taking inspiration from, instead of having to do it, again, similar to why I'm using Lyra despite complaining about it, is just using and learning from a bunch of different stuff without having to like make something fully from scratch. Even though I do love doing that for projects on stream, it does take a lot more energy and work, and especially with the way our internet's been, especially with the way life's been, this like virus knocking me out for like 2 weeks unexpectedly, just stuff being hard a month before that, just the year being crazy in general. You never know what life's gonna throw at you, so I never want to burn myself out on this part of the channel as well. Game dev is always going to have a place on the channel, so I really want to return to doing this type of stuff, and returning to this project specifically starting in February. I do think I will take like January. Usually, if you guys want to know like the time frame that we do these game dev streams, usually we do them either Friday mornings, do really quick ones, or if we do a longer like blockout stream, it will be like once every few months, and it will be on like a Sunday, Saturday, or a day I have off of work during the week. So I want to keep that up and basically add these back into the calendar at the start of February. I will probably still have some weekends I'm out in February, but I think we should be able to keep it consistent. And we'll be playing Resident Evil 9, I guess, now, because of that goal that we hit for the charity stream. So we do have February plans now. I'm excited. But yeah, we will be doing plenty of this, more blockout stuff of course, but hopefully we can do maybe some art tutorials, like some small stuff, like maybe we are able to model some like angel wings or like helmets to put on our Lyra characters similar to the helmets they wield in the game. Maybe we make like the little glowy armbands, like following the donut tutorial and like editing off of that and like the Blender stuff and learn that. Maybe we just learn how to use the modeling tool in Unreal even more to make some of this stuff, and then doing a little bit of, I don't want to do full coding programming, but seeing what we can dabble in with Lyra's setup and learning how to change that and alter the gameplay to feel a little bit more like this light versus dark mode rather than just the generic shooter deathmatch mode. So level design will be the core of this sandbox as always, but I do want to expand into exploring some other skills because that's why we have a sandbox. We will probably do like a couple one-off projects still. Not gonna touch Fortnite Creative again until much more stable internet, whenever that may be, but yeah, maybe I think definitely I would like to, for next year's Blocktober event, like do a full like one-off thing and like do a full little game jam project from start to finish over the month. So probably we'll have a couple other things outside of this project, but I do want this project to be our main focus continuing into 2026 because it brought me so much joy this year. So that is the plan with our game dev stuff. Again, this is my current estimated January schedule. If you're just popping in for the second part of the stream, I will be out of— I know I've been sick the past 2 weeks, but I will actually also be out of town for Halloween. For Christmas travel. I don't know what year it is. I'll be out of town for Christmas travel later this week through the weekend, so my first day fully back will be the 30th. We will bake some cookies and also run a Sims 4 Love Island themed challenge that day, so that will be a lot of fun. We'll probably wrap up that Love Island challenge on New Year's Eve a little bit at some point, and then going into the new year we have a bunch of Elden Ring streams planned for our weekend streams. That will be our main focus, and any days I have off will focus on Elden Ring as well. And then our morning streams will return in January. I wasn't able to do any in December because I was sick, but I usually stream for an hour or two before I work each like Monday, Wednesday, Friday of the work week. So those will be back, and we'll be focusing on our different life sims. I want to get all of our life sims in a good spot to wrap up the lore in them, because when Tomodachi Life drops later in 2026, that will be our main focus, and that will be the culmination of all of our lore on the channel will be in that. So I want to wrap up all our Sims stuff. I want to revisit Inzoi. I want to revisit Miitopia, and then we also happen to have Animal Crossing New Horizons getting an update. And I have not touched that in like a year, so it will be exciting. It will be very exciting if you are a fan of Life Sims or Elden Ring. And then, like I said, if you're a game dev person, just sit tight. Those video essays will still be coming out. And then this sandbox project isn't going anywhere, just being put on hold so my mind can recover a bit as well. And then it will be back in full force in February. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I'm gonna go make something for dinner. And I guess stitch this video together so I can upload it. And probably work on the next video essay a little bit as well. So next time I see you guys will be after Christmas, and after a lot of the winter holidays as well. So happy holidays to you guys, no matter what you celebrate. I hope you have just a great break, especially if you're able to get off of work. If you are working, I hope you have a great income of that holiday pay cash coming in, and you are able to enjoy that and spend that afterwards. And yeah, I hope you guys just have a great kind of victory lap here on 2025. And next time I see you guys, we're going to be baking cookies to celebrate that and getting ready for 2026. So take care, everybody. I'll see you guys soon.